welcome back to my channel. As you can see, I have Adam back. He is going to give us our a monthly report of a new moon that's coming up, I think, tonight, correct?
Yep, tonight and tomorrow.
Tonight and tomorrow. So he's going to do that. And then he also has a couple of people that he's done astrology readings on. So he's also going to tell us a little bit about that. But go ahead, Adam, and talk about what's been going on in your channel, how to get a hold of you, what do you do, all that good stuff.
All right. So, Sheila, thanks so much for having me on. So, I have been doing some wonderful collaborations lately. As everyone knows, there's some midterm elections coming up during the month of November. And during the day of the election there's going to actually be a full moon. And then there's going to be two eclipses during the November period. So an eclipse happens whenever we see a big energetic shift. An eclipse represents a large amount of energy moving in a small amount of time. So next month is going to be a really energetically potent time. We're going to see a lot of change on all levels, especially the political spectrum. So we definitely have some excitement and action to watch out for. So I'm currently offering discounted astrological readings of all types, natal charts, transit charts. So if you have any questions pertaining to which direction to take next in life, if you need clarification on any past events, or if you're wondering about your child or any of your friends or loved ones or those around you, please send me an email, and my information is going to be in the contact box of this video. Thanks. All right. So the new moon is going to be occurring October 25th, which is tomorrow. So the new moon is in the astrological sign of Scorpio. So this happens when the sun sign and the moon sign are in the same astrological sign. So Scorpio is a water sign, and it's ruled by the planets Pluto and Mars. So water represents emotions, Pluto represents power and transformation, and Mars represents our energy. So when we get this combination, we get energetically intense. So Scorpio areas in life have to do with power, control, occult, mystery, sex, and death. Inheritances also rule Scorpio as well. So this is really intense energy that's coming up. Scorpio is strongly correlated with survival tactics and survival instincts. So we are going to have to see how power plays come about during this Scorpio period, especially in relation to what is going on in the political spectrum. So not only are the sun and the moon going to be in Scorpio, but Venus is going to be in Scorpio as well. Venus is considered not in its greatest position in Scorpio. The energy of Venus is all about harmony. It's all about love. It's all about beauty. And when it's in Scorpio, it really adds just a lot of intensity. It can make for a overly passionate, overly jealous energy, and the extreme emotional behaviors. So the stellium is consisted of Sun, Moon, Venus, and Mercury. That's 4 planets sitting right next to each other. So stelliums create the ability to get a lot done in a small amount of time. So what we are going to see during this new moon period is we are going to see energy that's concentrated. We're going to be able to get done in a lot done in a small amount of time. And the energy of Scorpio is sort of like putting the pedal to the metal, kind of pressing it down, like you keep going. So yeah, we have some really potent energy coming up, which is wonderful. So that stellium, it's in what's called a square aspect or a dynamic or tense aspect to the planet Pluto. Pluto represents power. Whenever we see Pluto in square aspects, we can see things like manipulation and power struggles, jealousy, deceit, lying. So these square aspects, they bring up energy to the surface. They make intensity appear like more intense. Squares are the ability to get a lot done in a small amount of time, but a lot of times that energy comes through conflicting motives. So that's something that we have to watch out for during this period. Another big aspect that's going on is the planet Mercury, which represents communications. that's also in a square aspect to Pluto. Again, squares that dynamic energy, Mercury communications, Pluto power. This can be representative of verbal manipulation and manipulation tactics in order to get what you want, in relation to power plays. And with the sun squared Pluto, that could be like ego complexes. Moon squared Pluto could be emotional intensity. Venus squared Pluto, obsessive compulsive behaviors. Because Venus also represents our value system and it represents our finances, Pluto has a lot to do with transformation as well. So this could be, our value system undergoing some sort of transformation through an intense process of maybe purging. The planet Mars, which represents our energy, is in Gemini. Gemini is all about communications. Mars in Gemini can indicate verbal battles. However, Mars is in what's called a trine aspect. Trine aspect stabilizes that energy. Mercury is communications, that trine aspect to Mars, which is our energy. This is a really good time to state firm intentions as to what we want to see manifested, and take that energy as represented by Mars and go out and be a warrior and really strive to manifest to our highest potential. So we have the planet Mars again. Mars represents our energy in Gemini. It's in a square aspect or a more tense aspect to Neptune in Pisces. Whenever we see Neptune in a square aspect, we have to watch out for things like low energy, disillusionment, lack of clarity, scandals, and delusional behavior. This aspect is not the most ideal for probably most things in life. However, if we understand the aspects better, if we understand the astrological forecast and the cosmology that's transiting right now, it helps us deal with those energies a lot better. So the planet Saturn, which represents the Lord of Karma, is still in the astrological sign of Aquarius. Aquarius is generally very democratic, very much power to the people. Saturn represents the Lord of Karma. So Saturn in Aquarius is very fair-minded and really has a lot to do with, sorting out that karma in order for people to, pay back what they need to pay back, and then humanity coming along and on a more progressive basis as represented by those Aquarian energies. So the planet Saturn is in a trine aspect to Mercury. Mercury's communications. Those trine aspects are a harmonious flowing energy. This is a greater ability to focus and to concentrate, to get facts and to set good limits and realistic boundaries. The planet Mars is trine Saturn. This is another aspect. Whenever we see Mars and Saturn working together as represented by a trine, this can be passion, dedication, and endurance to achieve success. So some of the last couple aspects, I found out, or this is a very interesting aspect that's going on right now. So the planet Jupiter is in what's called a retrograde motion. And retrograde is when the planet appears to move backwards, but it's not actually moving backwards. However, though, it moves backwards in degrees in representation to the zodiac sign. So Jupiter right now is at 0 degrees Aries. Aries is the first sign of the zodiac. 0 degrees, it's before even the first degree. Jupiter represents our moral compass. So this retrograde aspect is asking us to find a new foundation for our moral compass. So the North Node is still in the astrological sign of Taurus. The North Node stands for our karmic and evolutionary direction. Taurus is all about stewardship of the land, finances, and resources. It's sitting right next to the planet Uranus still. Uranus in Taurus is what's considered in its fall position, or its weak position. The reason why is because Taurus wants stability. Uranus is so unstable. So again, we're going to find more instability with the crypto market, with the stock market, and more instability probably with the weather patterns as well with this aspect. Okay, so that is the new moon update.
Wow, that's a lot.
Yep.
Well, we have a lot going in there, and I'm thinking politically and also for voters. So there's a lot in there it's a battle. It sounds like a battle. Yep. That's all. It sounds like the most is there's a big battle going on. And the thing with the Saturn, is it Saturn that you said? It's for us to reset a moral compass. That makes a lot of sense when we're doing that.
Jupiter.
Yeah, Jupiter.
Jupiter.
Jupiter. Yeah, Jupiter. Goodness gracious. Do you want me to do like a little reading on
Sure.
The November astrological thingamajigger? I'm so clever with my words. Ooh, we have abundance coming up. We also have professionals, lots of professionals in strength.
Oh, I like it.
Well, it looks like we're going to get more of legal issues when we have good income, constant effort, material wealth, and abundance. But we also have both the King of Swords and the Queen of Swords. So that's legal issues that we're going to be watching in November. So we're going to have a lot of things just be brought to the forefront of like, either we believe in law and order or we don't. We're going to have a lot of that going because we also have strength behind that. So we're going to get our law and order and our justice back, and it's going to come in strength. So that's really a good sign, actually. And I'm thinking politically, of course, but we also have the the guy that comes in, and the Knight of Swords, I'm gonna come in and save the world. We have the courage, but it's also we're dealing with this a lot. The thief, the betrayal, the lying. We have a lot, but we have a lot of strength going forward. So we have a lot of law on our side right now. It looks like, and especially in the month. There you have it.
Fantastic.
All right, so who's first up?
We have Biden.
President
Biden.
All right, fantastic.
Yeah. Okay, so Biden has, in his natal chart, he has some wonderful, really harmonious Sun, Venus, and Jupiter aspects. This automatically makes him much more humanitarian, much less egocentric. It definitely raises his, very much raises his moral compass. So that's really the keynote with some of these wonderful aspects that he has in his natal chart. So let's talk about some of his short-term transits. So the short-term transits are very apparent, within the next couple of weeks. So his first short-term transit is the planet Mercury, which represents communications. That's in a harmonious aspect to Saturn. Saturn represents the Lord of Karma. And when it's a trine aspect, it just stands for good concentration abilities. Saturn can set a goal and work towards that goal and not be too distracted by outside influences. So what we're really seeing with this aspect is the ability for things to flow together more smoothly in relation to goal setting. The next aspect is the transiting Sun is in a square aspect to Jupiter. So square aspects are more dynamic. This is where the energy shifts and moves a lot more in a small amount of time. So this definitely can indicate a change in moral compass and a change in the value system. And his value system that's undergoing some sort of transformation right now. So we are yet to see how that plays out. But as we know, with the elections coming up, there's definitely a lot that's going to be going on. So yeah, we're definitely going to see some transformation as far as value systems, and this could also be related to Garland as well. The next aspect, his last aspect, is the planet Mercury, which is communications. It's in a sextile aspect to Pluto. So sextile is all about opportunity. Pluto's about power. So this is the opportunity to create positive change through the use of the spoken word, as represented by the position of power that he stands in. So with these sextile aspects and the trine aspects, he's definitely going to get a lot of love and a lot of praise and a lot of support. So the long-term transits, they do look pretty good for him. So the first long-term transit is the planet Jupiter, which represents our faith and our morals. It's in an opposed aspect, or sitting opposite in the chart, to planet Neptune, which represents our spirituality and the collective. So this aspect is more inclined to optimism and taking risks. Now, this can go a couple different ways. This aspect can be very innovative as far as taking the risk to introduce new ideas, or it can be used, unwisely. Sometimes, we take risks and they don't end up working out. However, what I do see with Biden is because he has a lot of other positive aspects to back this up, that it's the risk taking is most likely going to be in the positive direction. The next aspect is the planet Pluto, which represents power. It's sitting in an oppositional aspect to Jupiter. So here we have Pluto at one end, there we have Jupiter at the other end. Pluto's power, Jupiter's are faith and beliefs. This is a very dynamic aspect, and really the ability to achieve great things through your actions and be highly recognized by your peers. This also amplifies ambition. So that's a really wonderful aspect. The next aspect is the planet Jupiter, which represents our moral compass, in a sextile aspect. Sextile aspect is an aspect of opportunity to Uranus, which represents change. So this is new opportunities, new ways of looking at projects, and also very innovative, because those Uranian ideas have a lot to do with looking outside of the traditional box and the traditional structures in order to pave ways for innovation. The next aspect is the planet Pluto, which represents power. It's in a sextile aspect, or harmonious aspect, to his sun sign. So this is the opportunities to confront self-limiting beliefs. It's all about soul growth and the ability to find personal power. So those are some of his major aspects that are going on.
Fantastic. Yeah, I want to point out a few things as I'm watching you. You have a few entities in your house because they're showing up behind you.
Oh.
And orbs. I've seen like 3 of them.
It's not just the lighting.
Nope. I've been watching them. One goes this way, one goes that way. I'm like, light doesn't do that.
Is there anything that they're telling you, or?
I don't know. They're like showing up. I when I go into watching them, they're there to be there. I don't know. Is there another person that lives with you? Because they summoned somebody. They whoever that is has asked for them to come heal you. I don't know whoever that is, whatever their beliefs are, but they have asked to come. So they're there. Just letting you know, maybe there's a confirmation. Whoever is asked, whoever that other person, if they have been praying for help or healing or whatever, ancestors have showed up, and you just let them know that they're there, because I'm watching them. And they're on film. Unknown caller. They're on film. So I'll point them out in the video as I edit this, if anybody wants to catch them out. But I was noticing them at first for a little while, and then I started to watch, and then I'm like, oh yeah, that's an orb.
Wow, amazing.
Yeah. Okay. So do you want me to do a reading for him?
Sure.
All right. Forgive the phone call. It always happens right in the middle of where I need, and it's never anything that I need. All right, let's do a reading for Biden for the month of November. I mean, we have a lot of exciting things going on in the political arena, so let's see how Biden is going to fare. Well, we have the the elections, right? So this is like either we're gonna do it or we're gonna not do it. But what happens is after the elections, we have happy family and working together.
Oh, I like that.
And then we go back to juggling the finances and the working of Congress. So that was really interesting. This is what's happening inside of him right now. He's hoping that everybody gets out and votes and stuff like that. And so he's feeling a little chaos. He's feeling the upheaval, but happiness and working together and back to work, juggling the finances and the things that were going on. So That is
Oh,
the reading that I just got for Biden. At first, when these first two popped out, I was like, huh, oh no. But it's telling a
lovely.
story. It's telling a story. So, alrighty. Who's next?
Lovely. All right. That's awesome. So we our next person is Merrick Garland.
Oh, he's he's
Yeah.
actually he's actually speaking.
Yeah. So yeah, there's some interesting aspects. So in his birth chart, he has the sun in Scorpio. The sun in Scorpio, generally enjoys power. However, his moon is in Libra. Moon represents the emotions. A moon in Libra can be somewhat indecisive and not really want to rock the boat. Um, he also has this aspect in his chart. It's really interesting. It's the planet Saturn, which represents the Lord of Karma, sitting right next to the planet Neptune. What happens, Neptune, which can rule spirituality, but also confusion and illusion and disillusionment. The energies of Neptune are much more soft and they're much more subtle and they work in very elusive ways. So this is an aspect where people can worry about their future. And they will only actually gain self-respect when they face reality and stop deceiving themselves and others. So yeah, so this is a big aspect for him. He also has a couple other aspects. They're called inconjunct aspects, and they're aspects of planets that are in a non-relational aspect, and they create very much on the fence type of attitude. Um, so his chart is really highlighted strongly by these non-committal aspects. So yeah.
Oh, he's on the fence. I don't know if it's lack of commitment, but he definitely has a decision to be made. I agree with you there.
Yeah. So, so the first planet is Venus, which represents relationships, finances. It's in a sextile aspect to Pluto. Sextile's opportunity, Pluto's power. So this is the opportunity to yield power. The next aspect is the planet Venus, which represents relations, sitting right next to the planet Neptune. Again, Neptune, the energies are softer and more elusive. This is very idealistic. This is an aspect that can also kind of let things slide by, so to speak, without firmly grabbing the anchor. Next aspect is the transiting sun is in a square aspect to his Mars. So square represents dynamic energy and tension. The sun and the Mars are both considered more powerful, more vital. So this is high energy, time of high energy for him, and test of character from competitors. So we'll see how he fares with those tests. The sun is sextile Pluto. The sun is the vitality, the sextile is opportunity. Pluto's power, again, the opportunity to yield power. Mars sextile Pluto. Mars represents energy. Pluto's power, sextile's opportunity. Again, another chance to yield power. Mars trine Neptune. Mars is his energy. Trine's harmonious. Mars trine Neptune can have heightened sensitivity. Again, Neptune's really elusive, can be sensitive. So yeah, this can be heightened sensitivity during this time. So we'll see how that plays out. The sun conjunct Neptune. The transiting sun, anyways, is sitting right next to his natal Neptune. This can be more susceptible to lies and deceit, illusion, and delusion. So his sun, the transiting sun, is also sitting right next to his natal Saturn. Saturn is the Lord of Karma. This aspect is more serious, thorough, and disciplined. And then Mars, the transiting Mars is trine his natal Saturn. And trine's a harmonious aspect. Mars represents energy. Saturn represents the law. So this gives strength, ambition, and perseverance.
Wow.
So we're definitely seeing the opportunity, at least in the next couple of weeks, to yield power. But with some of those Neptune aspects, we're also seeing, he could perhaps be, you know, um, you know, be held back by pitfalls and maybe illusions and a little bit of deceit around the edges, maybe not being quite sure, maybe being a little wishy-washy. We're not quite sure, at least I'm not quite sure. But that could definitely be a possibility with the combination of some of those short-term aspects.
Yeah,
Now,
I would hate to make the decisions he has to make.
yeah, they're really intense. Yeah, really intense. So the long-term aspects, approximately like the next month to 3 to 4 months. So the planet first long-term aspect is the transiting Uranus, which represents change. It's in a square aspect or a dynamic aspect to his north node. The north node stands for the evolutionary point of growth, the karmic direction of growth. This is unexpected changes on his life path, shocking changes, sudden changes, drastic changes, that all are going to happen in a manner that may shake him up a little bit because it's a square. Squares tend to shake things up a little. They tend to create more dynamic. The next aspect is the transiting Pluto, which represents power. It's in a sextile or harmonious aspect or aspect of opportunity to his midheaven. The midheaven stands for our position in the limelight. This is the opportunity to show power and authority. The next aspect is the transiting Sun, which represents the ego structure. It's in a harmonious aspect to Neptune. And this is more idealistic. This again can be, this is like a softer aspect. It's considered more compassionate, more idealistic, and more easy to kind of let things go downstream, so to speak. His intuitive abilities about things may also be heightened with this aspect. This aspect may also affect his energy levels as well, depending upon, what his energetic reserves already are. The next planet is Uranus. Uranus represents change, sudden change, and innovation. It's sitting right next to the planet Jupiter. So anything that hits Jupiter, it magnifies it. So the Uranian energies are going to be very magnified with him. So we may see some perhaps out of the box ways of doing things, which could on one hand be positive. We'll just have to see what happens. The next aspect is the planet Pluto, which represents power, sitting right. It's going to be sitting right next to his Mars, which represents his energy. This is an aspect that gives the willpower to overcome difficulties. So, we will see how this plays out again. The next aspect is the last aspect I'm going to read on in this. This is the probably tops out all the aspects in order of its level of importance in relation to what's going on. So this is the planet Saturn, which represents the Lord of Karma. It's going to be sitting right next to his North Node, which represents his evolutionary direction. So this occurs approximately every 30 years. This is considered a period of waiting and careful evaluation with all situations that are generally out of one's control. So what we are seeing with this is that there are obviously forces that are out of his control. And he's going to be looking very carefully into this. And we will see exactly how this plays out.
Very cool, because as we speak, he's making an announcement. We don't know what he's talking about. So I was just letting you know he's making a very serious I can't wait to watch it. But yeah, so that's very interesting for his thing, because I hope he yields the power. He needs to. Let's get on with it. So let's do a little reading on him and see how that goes.
Okay.
Without knowing what he spoke about. So that's going to be really interesting. Ooh. The King of Swords popped right out.
Ooh.
Professional, expert in his field, lawyer, advisor, government, authority, and power. So that roll popped right out for him.
Okay, wow. Yeah, we'll see what.
He also has achieving the first stage. So whatever he is doing, he's achieving the first stage. He's making preparations. He's also bound by the law. He's not being able to, do much. But the Queen of Swords comes up again. The King of Swords and the Queen of Swords again showed up. That was the reading for November, and now the King and the King and the Queen of Swords show up again for Merrick Garland.
Interesting.
He's going to be the one who is achieving first stage and making the move in this country.
Interesting.
Yeah. So and then the Queen of Wands. So that's also a lawyer. So there's him, judges, lawyers, all kinds of things showing up for Merrick Garland. So, but he has a lot of anxiety around it. So he's gonna, you know, he's gonna have a little judgment party in the month of November. But it's not gonna be as easy as he thinks. That's what the cards kind of say. It's gonna be a little tough going. I can't wait to see what he had to announce and see what he was saying, but he's gonna be the star of November. Sounds like so. Hopefully. All
Yeah.
right. Well, that was wonderful. Thank you so, so much. And if you guys have made it this far, thank you so much for watching to the end of the videos. It's incredibly
Thanks, everyone.
important for all videos to be watched all the way to the end for all the creators. That's one of the things that YouTube kind of wants us to make sure that we're, creating content that everybody's watching to the end. And so it's very important for that. So, all right. Is there any last words or any other anything else you would like to have for us for the month of November?
That is it. And again, everyone, if you haven't subscribed already, please subscribe to my YouTube page. And if you're looking for any astrological consultation, natal charts, transit charts, whatever, for you, yourself, or someone else, if you're at a crossroads, if you need clarity about past situations or future situations, please send me an email. And all of my information is in the description box.
Yep, and on his channel. So go to Adam Stargazing Astrology and go to his channel, and he has everything all ready for you.
Yes.
To get a hold of him. So,
yeah.
All right.
And a special thanks again to Sheila for having me on. It's always great.
You're welcome. It's always fun. It's good stuff. I learned a lot. I'm learning about astrology through you. So
awesome.
Yeah, that helps me a lot. I don't speak astrology, but I'm learning it. So
yeah.
All right, everyone.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.